Picture a valley. Right in its center stands a bamboo tree that towers higher than absolutely every other tree around it. It's so massive, so imposing that people actually travel from distant, far-off villages just to stand in its shadow. As you can probably guess, looking up at this impossible height, rumors start to spread like wildfire. Some travelers call it a miracle, others whisper that it's the result of dark magic. But the man who planted it, a humble farmer named Noah, well, he knows the absolute truth. And that truth is, there was no magic, only patience. Noah knew this towering giant wasn't born from some spell or a sudden miracle. It was born from pure, unyielding discipline. I mean, we're talking about the result of thousands of early mornings where Noah woke up, walked out to his field, watered the ground, and just chose to keep going, even when absolutely nothing seemed to be happening on the surface. Let's just consider the reality of this bamboo's growth for a second. Year 1, nothing visible. Year 2, still nothing. Year 3, Year 4, Year 5, nothing visible. Can you imagine the heavy, crushing weight of those 5 full years? That is 5 years of invisible waiting, 5 years of silent, unseen preparation beneath the soil. It wasn't until after that 5th year that this towering bamboo finally broke the earth. Now, as sudden, visible success appears, the outside world reacts. One afternoon, a wealthy merchant stops by Noah's field. He takes one look at this magnificent, towering bamboo and immediately wants to buy it. He just asks Noah for his price. When Noah simply smiles and says, "The tree is not for sale," the merchant actually laughs in his face. He shoots back, "Everyone has a price, name yours." You see, to the merchant, everything is just a transaction. Everything can be bought instantly. But Noah's response completely shatters that transactional mindset. He says, "You think this tree is what I spent 5 years growing? You're wrong. I spent 5 years growing myself. The bamboo is only the evidence." Wow. The real harvest was never the wood itself. The real harvest was the resilience, the discipline, and the person Noah had to become during that long, dark, invisible wait. Well, the merchant was left speechless. He walked away empty-handed, but he definitely didn't stay quiet. Noah's profound words quickly spread throughout the surrounding area, and something really beautiful happened. People stopped coming to the field just to gawk at the bamboo. Instead, they started coming just to speak to Noah. Almost overnight, this humble old farmer turned into a sought-after mentor for the entire village. The first person to seek his help was a young, deeply discouraged writer. She carried a notebook full of unfinished stories, just heartbroken because she felt like no one was reading her work. So Noah handed her a single bamboo leaf and asked her, did this leaf appear overnight? Of course, she said no. Noah told her that neither would her success. He offered her a very simple remedy. He told her to write 1 page every single day. Don't measure your progress by applause. Measure your progress by your consistency, because success, just like nature, cannot be rushed. A few days later, a young blacksmith approached Noah, totally ready to quit. He'd been working for 3 long years, yet customers were still incredibly scarce. He was caught up in the visible struggle. So Noah walked him over to the bamboo and had him touch the unbendable trunk. He asked the blacksmith why the wind couldn't break it. The answer? Because the bamboo spent years strengthening its invisible roots before it ever reached for the sky. Noah looked right at him and said, maybe your roots are still growing. He urged the blacksmith not to abandon a future he simply couldn't see yet. And this perfectly illustrates the core philosophy that began to wash over the entire village. Great things take time. As the seasons passed, the whole culture of the village transformed. Children stopped throwing tantrums over instant gratification. Farmers began to plant their seeds with profound hope instead of anxious fear. And young dreamers, they committed to their goals longer than they ever had before. Whenever they felt like quitting, they would visit the bamboo tree and remember the wait. Let's fast forward a bit. Many years down the line, Noah was an old man. His hair had turned silver, his hands were rough with age, and his walk had slowed. One quiet evening, old Noah spotted a young boy standing beneath the towering shadow of the bamboo tree. The boy looked utterly defeated. He confessed to Noah that he had been practicing the violin for 6 agonizing months, and he still wasn't any good. He'd convinced himself that he simply lacked talent, and that 6 months of struggle was undeniable proof he should just give up. Noah just smiled his gentle, knowing smile. He pointed up at the massive tree and told the boy that when he first planted it, absolutely nothing appeared for 5 entire years. The boy was stunned. 5 years? Yes. But every single day, it was growing where no one could see. And then Noah shared this incredible piece of wisdom. He said, Talent may help you start, but patience is what helps you finish. Don't quit because your progress is invisible. Invisible progress is still progress. The boy took those words deep into his heart. He went home and picked up his violin. He practiced the next day and the next. Months became years. He stopped looking for the immediate applause and started trusting the deep, invisible growth of his own roots. And let me tell you, the real harvest of that patience was spectacular. Years later, that discouraged little boy blossomed into one of the greatest, most celebrated musicians in the entire country. And whenever people would surround him praising his immense natural talent, the famous musician would simply smile. He didn't boast, he just quietly remembered a silver-haired old man and a towering bamboo tree.
You know, life is so much like that bamboo. Think about it. When you study late into the night, you might not see immediate results on paper. When you start a business, you're probably not making money right away. When you exercise, you can stare at the mirror for weeks and literally see zero change. When you pray, the answers rarely arrive on your expected schedule. But that doesn't mean nothing is happening.
We have to realize this. Silence is not failure. Slow progress is not no progress. Just because you can't see the results of your late nights, your early mornings, your sweat, and your tears does not mean nothing is happening. The most important, fundamental growth always happens beneath the surface. It happens in the dark, where absolutely no one is applauding you, because that is where your character is built.
So never ever confuse that silent period with failure, because the law of the bamboo guarantees one thing. What is built in the dark will finally rise into the light. All of your unseen, unapplauded efforts are accumulating right now. They're compounding. They are building the unbreakable trunk you are going to need when you finally break through the soil.
I want to ask you a very direct question. What dream are you ready to stop watering just because you can't see results yet? What is your violin? What is your blacksmith shop? What is the vision you are so close to walking away from just because the progress is currently invisible?
Please don't quit. Keep showing up, keep believing, keep growing, even when it feels foolish. Even when the wealthy merchants of the world laugh at you and demand to know your price. Your roots are preparing you for a future that is far greater and far taller than you can currently imagine.
If this explainer touched your heart today, and if it gave you the strength to keep watering your invisible dreams, please subscribe to Tales with Wisdom. We absolutely love breaking down these profound lessons and sharing them with you. And as you go back out into your life, your work, and your waiting, remember this. The tallest bamboo in the forest was once just a seed that refused to give up. Keep growing.